Hello, everyone. I'm your host, John Clarence Gomez, and welcome to the John Clarence Gomez Show. And my guest today is Lisa Marinacci, the writer of the new musical, The Daisy, the musical. Hi, Lisa. Hello.
Hi, hello.
Can you introduce yourself to our listeners?
Sure. Hi, my name is Lisa Marinacci. I'm the creator, co-book writer, and composer and lyricist of Daisy Jane the musical.
Uh, can you tell us about that musical? What is the story of that musical?
Sure. Daisy Jane is a Faustian dark musical comedy that takes place in the current world of the pop music industry. So, being a Faustian piece, the devil is one of the main characters, and in this story, he's the a very controlling record producer who signs a very hopeful young singer-songwriter, and the story is basically her journey through that decision that she made to sign with him, um, to eventually trying to get herself out of it. And the story is um, snippets of that journey along the way of all the crazy characters she meets and all the wrong decisions she continues to make. Um, and then, figuring out how to get out of it. And then the story is actually bookended on a reality show. So she actually loses at the beginning of the show. She's hopeful. And at the end, we wind up back on that reality show where she proposes a sing off with the devil, and the audience picks the ending. So it's an interactive story where one of two musical numbers ends the show, depending on which way the audience votes.
Is that musical have been produced in theaters or it is unproduced?
Yes, so we did have a equity staged workshop in Los Angeles. So that was part of the Los Angeles Festival of New American Musicals. So that is a production in a way, but it's not an actual full production. A workshop is kind of like the last step before a full production. So right now we're working towards a full production at a theater. Hopefully, any theater would be great, but I'm on the East Coast now, so right now we're pursuing an East Coast production, hopefully in the near future.
Wow, that's nice.
Thank
Uh,
you.
you know, I want to tell you that I'm a playwright also. I wrote short plays and it was featured on many uh, virtual theater festival like Zoom Theater, where it is kind of like a table with theater online that have participants from around the world. I wrote a short play titled, a new short play titled, uh, oh wait, I will look at my document. Yes, because I forgot the title of the new short play I wrote. Uh,
Okay, that's
yes,
awesome.
just wait. I will look at my. Yes, here it is. Yes, it is loading. The docs is loading. Yes, and here it is. Uh, I wrote a uh, a new short play titled "All We Need Is Love." It is not a musical. Uh, this new short play I wrote is only about a two gay couple named Daryl Ian and Blake, who love each other, and they have a goal to be engaged and married in the future, even though they have a financial crisis. That's the kind of the new short play I wrote.
Oh, that's awesome. That sounds great.
Yes. Uh, uh,
Good luck with that.
aside from making making this making thing or singing and dancing.
I'm sorry, could you
Do you hear
repeat the
me?
question?
Aside from making musicals, do you do also acting, singing, and dancing? Like,
Ah, yes. Well, that's how I started as a performer. I still do, but not nearly as much as I used to. I grew up doing a lot of musical theater and shows where I grew up, which is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I did a lot of musicals with the Pittsburgh Civic Light Opera and really grew up as a performer. So it wasn't really until college where I started writing. So I do still, I actually, I teach voice and musical theater and I do sing with a band. But as far as musical theater performing, I don't do that as much anymore. Although I did play the role of Daisy in the equity workshop of Daisy Jane when we did that in Los Angeles. So that was super fun, and I'm so glad I had the opportunity to perform my own work. But I kind of stay behind the binder now.
uh, you know, I'm I'm also do acting uh, on many online table reads, and I remember that in last July 2025, I participated in a virtual theater production of Romeo and Juliet by a UK-based production named Shakespeare. They produce many virtual theater, and I play the role of twins there.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yes, yes. And also last e- April, I I play in an virtual theater production under the name of Okay Sumer Theater of another Shakespeare play titled Hamlet. I played the role of Guildenstern.
Oh, wow. Hamlet. All right. Heavy stuff.
Yes,
Good.
that yes, that's nice. Acting in virtual theater because I'm from the Philippines and I can theater here is very different. Uh, I never participated in theater here in my life, but only online through my joining many Zoom table reads and online theater, and it is nice, meeting people from around the world.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yes. Uh, Here is the question. Let's back to the about the musical, about your the Daisy the musical. Uh, i, uh, do you have a plan to make the Daisy the musical enter into off Broadway or in Broadway in the future?
I mean, that is the dream, right? That would be wonderful. It's definitely,
Yeah.
it's a full two-act musical. Um, and that, if money were no object, I would rent a theater tomorrow. But, theater is expensive. So,
Yes.
finding the right especially musical theater, right? So finding the right producers and people that believe in the show. We had a lot of that in Los Angeles, but, New York is on the other side of the country. So,
Yes.
yeah. So that would be the aim. I think the trajectory right now would be to, have some regional theaters produce it and support it,
Yes.
and continue the development. So
Yes.
someday it could go to New York or off Broadway or whatever its path would be. But we learned from the workshop in LA that audiences really do enjoy it. It's definitely a
That's
comedy.
nice.
It has a serious message, but it's very tongue in cheek. It's very fun. It's fun to make fun of the pop, industry, and there's so many different ways to do that. So we definitely, found an audience, and I think finding a broader audience would sort of help and get the word out and get the show. You know, produced in a very big way. A show about we did a very scaled down workshop production of it, but when you have a show about the music industry and the, pop stars, the technical um, pieces could be amazing. Very big, very, very shiny and sparkly, and costumes and lights and sets. It can really be produced either way. Like I said, we did the workshop very scaled down, but the dream would be to uh, do the shiny version of it. When we did the workshop, it's really, really made for 11 actors. It can be done with more because two of those actors play several different characters in the show, but it can be done as a small piece with 11 actors, and that's ideally how it was conceived. So, yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit.
Yes, yes, because when it comes on American entertainment industry, because your city, Los Angeles versus New York, for example, New York is the home of the theater industry, the live theater like Broadway and off Broadway, while your city, Los Angeles, has been called home of film and movies, the Hollywood. That's the difference, right?
Yes, correct. It's also the home of the record industry. You've got most of the big record companies out there. So the show fit definitely when we did it out there. But you are right. There are more theater producers in New York, definitely. But I will say there are a lot of very talented actors and creative people in Los Angeles, a lot of them with a theater background that either studied theater in college or did theater in New York, and they're transitioning to do film and television in LA, but they still love theater and they still want to participate in theater and will, any chance they get, because there's nothing like building a show with a team of people and, very different from, showing up and being on a TV set or a movie set. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully it will make its way to the East Coast, to New York City soon. So that's the hope.
Yes, that would be nice. And also, uh, for example, because you are from Los Angeles, for example, there is an Hollywood producer that that asks you, for example, you met a Hollywood producer and asks you, how about if we made your musical a movie? Because there are many movie musical like The Wicked, comma, stage musical and becoming a movie musical. What do you say about that? About making your
Yes.
musical into movie?
Yes, it's funny you should bring that up. I have written in the past year the screenplay version of the musical
Wow,
because
that's
you're right.
nice.
I love movie musicals are definitely something that I love. And the show is very cinematic the way it plays out. And I have some big ideas for the musical numbers and the way they would translate on the big screen. So I have a screenplay. So if a producer would come to me and say that, I would say, great. Here's the first draft of the screenplay. Let's talk.
Yes, that's nice. Uh, also, it is now 13 minutes ago, and we have no time. And I hope your musical will become succeed because I really really love to talk about new works and new musical because I love to make short plays and you love to make musical and we really really love new works. So that's the reason why I invited you. Uh,
Oh,
uh,
well, thank you
yes.
so much.
Yes, yes. Do you have an an other work that you might be make in the future aside from this musical other work like another
Yeah.
musical or yes, what about
Mhm.
that?
Yeah,
This
thanks for asking. I do. I have two other shows in the late stage of development, let's say. The one show has been produced. It's a kids show, like middle school age. And that's called Moon Rock High. And it's a musical about the first high school on the moon. So, that's very timely right now with the Artemis mission that just happened. And then actually, I have a one act musical called Goal Group, Ghoul Group. And that's going to be produced in October in Pittsburgh in a theater at the Strand Theater in
That's
Zelienople,
nice.
Pennsylvania, and that'll be the first time that show will be put on its feet. And it has a bit of a Halloween theme. It's definitely an autumn inspired show. So yeah, I do have those two other pieces as well as Daisy Jane.
Yes. Thank you, Lisa, for guesting to my podcast. And we are in 15 minutes now. Uh, we have no time, and 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 it is nice to chat with you. You are very nice person. Because I'm talking about this new musical.
Thank you. Thank you so much for
Yes.
inviting me to talk. It's nice
Bye.
to meet you as well. Bye.
Yes. Bye.